My mother always said, a mother never abandons her child. But no one ever told me that a mother could steal her child's future. Everything started with this sentence. I gave birth to you, so you owe me. I was 14 years old the first time I heard those words. My father had left home 2 years earlier, and every evening my mother would sit in the living room crying and talking about that day. I tried to be a good girl. I washed the dishes, cleaned my room, got good grades at school, but it was never enough. It was never going to be enough. When I turned 16, I found my first part-time job, waitressing at a cafe, $8 an hour. When I got my first paycheck, I ran home so excited. Finally, I could contribute something. My mother took the money from my hand, smiled and said, "Well done, sweetheart, now we're a team." That day we went to the bank. We opened a joint account. "So I can help you too," she said. "We'll manage the money together." But what actually happened was, I earned the money, she spent it. Every pay period I checked the account and the balance was close to zero. When I asked, she got angry. The electric bill came. I did the grocery shopping. I paid the rent. Every single time I felt guilty. Wasn't I working for our family anyway? When I started university, I got a full scholarship. I was proud. My mother was proud too, but for a different reason. "See," she said, "now we don't have to worry about pocket money. You go to school, I stay home, everything's fine." But everything was not fine, because the scholarship only covered tuition. Rent, books, transportation, food, all of that was on me, and of course my mother's bills too. She had stopped working by then. "I'm tired," she said. "I worked for years, now it's your turn." At 19, I was working 2 jobs while she watched TV. While I studied until midnight, she gossiped on the phone with her friends. While I ate plain pasta to save food money, she ordered restaurant delivery. And every month, every goddamn month, she asked me for money. The electricity is going to be cut. The water bill is late. The credit card payment is due. Every time I paid, because she was my mother, and a mother doesn't abandon her child, right? At 20, I was exhausted, not just physically, spiritually. One day my friend Mia asked me, "Sarah, why are you always so tense?" I told her everything. She listened, then said, This isn't normal, do you realize that?" Normal? What was normal? For me, normal was coming home to piles of bills. Normal was my mother yelling at me and saying, "What would I do without you?" Normal was counting every penny and still never having enough. One day I checked my bank account and saw it, a withdrawal I didn't know about. $500. I called my mother. "Mom, you took $500 out of the account. For what?" There was zero remorse in her voice. "Oh yeah, the fridge broke. I had it repaired and I needed shoes. What, is there a problem?" "Mom, I was saving that money for next month's rent." "You have a scholarship, the rent is for our apartment, this house is yours too. Why are you being so selfish?" "Selfish, me, but I didn't argue, arguing made it worse." "I raised you all alone after your father left," she would scream, "and now you're acting ungrateful when I ask for a little money." It wasn't a little money, it was every month, every week, sometimes every day. At 21, I checked my credit score for the first time. I needed it for a job application. When I saw the number, I froze. 520. How? I had never used a credit card, never taken out a loan. But there it was, in red letters: delinquent payments, collections, debt. I took a deep breath and looked at the details. There they were, a credit card in my name, but I hadn't opened it. Another credit card, more debt, electricity bills, internet bills, all in my name, all late, all in collections. My hands were shaking, I was staring at the screen but couldn't see. My eyes had filled with tears. How could she do this? How could my own mother steal my future? When I got home that day, I was calm, very calm. I opened the door, found my mother on the couch as usual, watching TV. "Mom," I said, my voice strange and flat, "you opened credit cards in my name." She turned her head, there was no shock on her face. "Oh yeah, a few of them, for emergencies. You're young and your credit was good. No one would give me a card with my score." "My credit score is ruined now," I said. 520, do you know I'm in collections?" She shrugged. "You're young, you'll fix it. I can't pay right now, but when you graduate and get a good job, you'll sort it out." "You'll sort it out, me, always me." She dug the hole, but I was the one who had to climb out. There were some papers you signed for me, she continued, as if this was the most normal thing in the world. Your signature was needed, don't you remember? I remembered. Just routine paperwork, she had said, putting a stack of documents in front of me. Sign her. And here. And I signed because I trusted her, because she was my mother. That night I couldn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling until morning and thought, how many more years would I live like this? Would I graduate, get a job and still give her my salary? At 30 would I still be paying her bills? At 40? At 50? The next day I made a decision. Slowly, quietly, methodically, enough was enough. First step, I opened a new bank account she couldn't access. I changed my direct deposit. When I came home that month she asked, "Did the paycheck come? The electric bill is due." "I started getting my pay in my own account," I said. Her face changed. "What do you mean?" "We don't have a joint account anymore. My money is in my account." "That's ridiculous," she said, voice rising. "That money is our money, we're family." "No, Mom," I said. "That money is mine, I earned it, and you used it to take out debt in my name." "I'm your mother," she yelled. "How can you do this to me?" I didn't answer. I went to my room, closed the door and moved to step 2. Electricity, water, internet. I called every single one. "I want my name removed from the account." Sam asked, "Are you sure? The other person will be fully responsible." "I'm sure," I said. Third step, I called the landlord. "I want my name removed from the lease." He asked, "Are you sure? The other tenant will be solely responsible. If they don't pay, they'll be evicted." "I'm sure," I said. My voice didn't shake. Fourth step, I disputed the credit card debts, filed fraud claims, proved with documents that I never authorized them. Long processes began, but they began. My mother still didn't understand. Every day she yelled, "You can't leave this house. You're my responsibility. I raised you." "And I paid you back," I said. "Every single cent. I don't owe you anymore." One night, while I was packing my bag, she burst in. "Where are you going?" "I'm leaving." "Where are you going to go? You don't even have money for rent." "I'm going to stay at my friend's place for a while, on her couch, then I'll find my own place." "You're really ungrateful," she said, eyes filling with tears. "I did everything for you." "No, Mom," I said, "you used me for everything, and you're not going to anymore." I picked up my bag and walked to the door. She shouted after me, "You'll regret this. One day you'll need me and I won't be here." I turned and looked at her. For a moment, just a moment, I felt pity. Then I remembered my credit score. I remembered my empty account. I remembered the nights I cried myself to sleep. "You were never really here, Mom," I said and closed the door behind me. I couldn't sleep at all that first night at Mia's place. Her couch was comfortable, the house was warm, but I still lay there staring at the ceiling. My phone kept vibrating. "Mom," message after message. "Sarah, please come home, let's talk." The electric bill came. What am I going to do? Answer me, is this what I taught my daughter? You're really a selfish person. Fine, have it your way, you'll see. I wanted to hit the block button, but I wasn't ready yet. I wasn't that strong yet. In the morning, Mia sat next to me with 2 mugs of coffee. "How are you?" she asked. "I don't know," I said honestly. "I feel like I did the right thing, but at the same time I feel like a terrible person." "You're not terrible," Mia said. "Your mom, she saw you as a source of income. That's not healthy, that's not normal. And you finally realized it." That day I went to work. At the cafe, same as always. Smiling at customers, taking orders, but my mind was always there. With Mom, in the apartment, in the debts in my name. During my lunch break, I called a free legal aid center. They said they could help with identity theft cases. "But this is my mother," I said. "Can I really sue her?" "It doesn't matter who did it to you," the advisor replied. "What matters is that your rights were violated. And yes, if necessary, you can file a lawsuit, but first you need to gather the documents." Documents, yes, there were documents. Credit card statements, bills, my signatures, accounts opened without my knowledge. I started collecting them all. Every evening at Mia's place I sat and organized them into folders. Sometimes Mia would peek over my shoulder and say, "I can't believe this," her own mother. "I couldn't believe it either," I'd reply, "but here's the proof." 2 weeks later Mom called. This time her tone was different. She wasn't crying, wasn't yelling. Calm, almost sweet. "Sarah, baby, I miss you. Come home, let's talk, we'll figure this out together." For a moment my heart softened. Maybe she had changed. Maybe she finally understood. But then she added, "And these bills are really piling up. If you could just pay a few of them." That door slammed shut, completely. "No, Mom," I said, "I'm not paying your bills anymore." "What do you mean anymore?" Her voice hardened instantly. "You're my daughter, we're family." "Families don't steal each other's identities," I said. "Families don't drown each other in debt." "I raised you," she screamed. "I gave birth to you, fed you, clothed you. For 10 years all alone, your father ran away, I stayed. And now when I ask for a little help, I'm the bad guy." "You left me helpless," I said, my voice shaking but steady. "For 10 years, and I can't do it anymore, I won't do it anymore." I hung up, and this time I hit block. After that night the messages stopped, the calls stopped. At first I felt relieved, but then I started wondering, was she okay, was she eating, were the lights still on? Mia reminded me, "Sarah, you're not responsible for her, she's an adult, she can manage her own life." "But what if she can't?" "Then she'll learn," Mia said. "Some people only learn from consequences." A month passed, I rented a new room. It was small, the furniture was old, but it was mine. Truly mine for the first time. That first night I lay in bed and cried. From happiness, from sadness, I didn't know, maybe both. That's when my Aunt Aish called, Mom's older sister. "Sarah," she said, her voice hard and accusatory, "I heard what happened to your mother. How could you do this?" My stomach tightened. "Auntie, what did she tell you?" "That you abandoned her, stole her money, kicked her out of the house. The electricity's been cut, she can't eat. And you're out there living it up at university." Of course, she had already written the story, and cast herself as the victim. "Auntie," I said, taking a deep breath, "I'd like to tell you the truth, but I need to show you documents. Can we meet?" "Documents," she said suspiciously. "What documents?" "The ones you need to see," I said. 2 days later I went to Aunt Aish's house. Mom was there, of course, sitting on the couch wrapped in a blanket, eyes red and swollen, playing the victim role to perfection. When she saw me she flinched. "Sarah." "Hi, Mom," I said and placed my folder on the table. Aunt Aish looked at me. "What's this?" "The truth," I said. I opened the folder. Everything was there. Credit card statements, bank transactions, lease agreements, utility bills, all in my name, all opened by her, all filled with late payments. Aunt Aish looked through the papers, flipped the pages, her eyes widened. "Cynthia, these are all in Sarah's name." "We're family," Mom said quickly. "Children help their parents, you trust your own kids too, don't you?" "I didn't secretly open credit cards using my children's identities," Aunt Aish said, shock in her voice. "Cynthia, this is illegal." "Illegal?" Mom shouted, jumping to her feet. "I'm her mother, I raised her, clothed her, fed her. 10 years alone, her father left, I stayed. And now when I ask for a little help, I'm the criminal." "This isn't a little help," I said, my voice calm but burning inside. "This is 10 years of exploitation. It started when I was 16, you took every penny I earned. When that wasn't enough, you took out debt in my name. Now my credit score is ruined. I'm 22 years old and starting life with $15,000 in debt. Debt that isn't even mine." Aunt Aish held her head in her hands. "Cynthia, how could you do this?" "It was easy," Mom yelled. "Because no one cared about me, everyone left, including you. When did I ever ask for help? When did I ever ask for money? Never, because I'm a proud person. But my daughter, my own daughter, left me helpless." "No, Mom," I said, "you left yourself helpless, I just stopped being your victim." Silence fell. Aunt Aish looked at me. "What are you going to do now?" "I disputed the debts," I said. "Filed fraud reports, I'm meeting with lawyers. If necessary, I'll file a lawsuit." "You're going to sue me," Mom gasped. "Your own mother." "The person who stole my identity," I corrected. "Yes, if necessary." You're a monster," Mom said, her eyes filling with tears. "Is this how I raised you?" "You raised me to be a victim," I said, "but I'm not anymore." Aunt Aish sighed. "Cynthia, you can stay here for a while, but there's one condition: you're going to get a job, and you're going to pay your own bills. You will not ask Sarah for another cent." "But that's the only condition," Aunt Aish said. "Take it or find somewhere else." Mom looked at me, there was pure, burning hatred in her eyes. One day, she said slowly, one day you'll need me too, and then I'll remember everything. I'll remember too, I said, everything. When I left the house, my hands were shaking, but there was a small smile on my face. For the first time, I had stood up to my mother in a room and hadn't crumbled. The next few months were hard. I worked on fixing my credit score. Some debts were wiped out, some are still ongoing, but at least no new ones are being added. Mom stayed at Aunt Aish's for a while, then moved to a small apartment. She started working. Cashier, part-time. Not exactly what she wanted, but at least it was her own. Money. She never texted me again, never called. We ran into each other once at Aunt Aish's for the holidays. She didn't even look at me, I didn't look at her either. One day Mia asked, "Do you ever regret it?" I thought about it, really thought about it. "No," I said finally. "I'm sad, very sad, but I don't regret it, because if I had gone back I'd still be paying her bills right now, I'd still be the victim, and I would never have lived my own life." "Good," Mia said, "because you're an amazing person, and you deserve to live the life you've earned." Now I'm 23. I still work at the same cafe, still go to university. I don't have much money, but it's mine, my decisions are mine, my mistakes are mine, my successes are mine too. And at night when I lie in bed, I can sleep without fear, because no one is out there opening debts in my name anymore. My mother is still angry at me. Maybe she always will be, but I'm no longer responsible for her feelings. She's an adult, I'm an adult now too, and adults take responsibility for themselves. A few months ago, while walking down the street, I saw her. She was coming out of the market with 2 grocery bags. She had lost weight. Her hair had gone grey. For a moment our eyes met. I waited. Would she yell, smile, cry? None of those things happened. She just turned her head and walked away. And so did I. Because sometimes love isn't enough. Sometimes boundaries are needed. Sometimes you have to say no. Sometimes you have to walk away. And sometimes, just sometimes, you have to stop saving someone else's life in order to save your own. My mother told me for years, "You owe me." But the truth is, no child owes their family anything just for being born. And I no longer owe her anything,